Hi. Just before we get into this video, this giveaway impacted me so much that we're actually gonna run it back. We're gonna do an entire new FX6 giveaway. All the details are down below. Everybody thinks they're not gonna win, but that's exactly what our winners in the past have all said. And they got equipped with a whole new camera kit. Love doing this. It's the most fun. So we're gonna do it again, but let's get into the video.
Hi, in this video, we're going on a little adventure. There will be some of that, but the purpose of this trip is that I'm taking $10,000 of camera gear to Nigeria to give to one lucky filmmaker and to try to teach him as much as I know about filmmaking in just a couple days. And during that process, we're gonna shoot a documentary together. Let's go to Nigeria. And the trip is actually about 26 hours from Toronto to Abuja, but I won't bore you with travel montages because this is overdone by every content creator on earth. So here's a shot of an airplane window. And now we're in Nigeria.
Bad storm coming in?
Yeah.
And just before we get the camera to Eric's hands, a little background on him. These giveaways are randomized, but once we met Eric and we saw his reaction and how much this camera meant to him, well, it moved a lot of us on the call. I was moved to tears, just touched by how much this meant to Eric and how much he was excited for this to change his career. So this journey for me, I felt I had to do in person, and not just deliver him a camera, but want to help him with his business, with his storytelling, and we understand what this camera can unlock in his career. Gear's important, but knowing how to tell a story and run a business, I think is just as important. Vlogging never gets old. Let's go finally give this camera package to Eric. It's been much too long. So I hopped in the cab, met with my behind the scenes videographer, and we went to Eric's house.
I want to put him on camera. He's shooting our BTS. And your name, ISO?
ISO.
ISO. What's that short for though?
Isaiah again.
Isaiah, but everyone calls you ISO.
Yeah.
What are you, 200 ISO, 100 ISO? What are you?
100.
100 ISO. Oh, he's nice and clean. I like that. All right, well, ISO knows his place. This is Eric's house, right? Do I just knock? How do you do this here?
Nope.
I feel like such a foreigner. Yo, Eric, you're filming me.
I'm filming you guys.
No, I'm filming you. Yo, here you go, man.
Thank you so much.
After months and months of planning and anticipation, it was so cool to finally get to meet Eric in person.
7 months.
Yeah, only.
Only 7 months later, and Eric now has it.
And his incredible family.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to have you here.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Me and Eric sat down and we did a whole crash course on the camera, from setting up his LUTs and how to hold the camera and operate it properly, all the way down to where I like to put my favorite hotkey buttons.
We're gonna go to the assignable button, ISO base sensitivity. It's the first one right up there. I like my number 2 being ISO base sensitivity. The number 3, I actually prefer video signal monitor. That's Sony's silly way of just saying like waveforms. I recommend sitting down in your room for an hour and going through all the settings, because the worst thing that's happened to me in the past is when I'm like finally ready to start recording and I'm like trying to figure out a menu, or I'm on a forum trying to read about it.
Still doesn't feel real though.
It doesn't feel real. Well,
Still doesn't feel real.
you holding this?
Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Think you're ready?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have to get out and shoot a documentary now. Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can you give me a high five? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hi, baby.
One day he called me and said he wants something in Canada. I say, are you dreaming? So he said, no, that actually the person is coming. I said, coming and sing, coming here physically. He said, yes. I said, okay, that will be the day.
Today's the day.
Today is the day, Mark, and I'm so happy that I've witnessed it.
And to cap off Eric receiving his camera, his family was really kind and we cracked a bottle of wine and had some delicious, authentic Nigerian homemade food.
They keep warning me about the spice. And yeah, it's spicy for me. I'm gonna keep going.
They even took my measurements, which I wasn't sure why at the time.
You got guns.
Pistols. Pistols.
Pistols.
The next next day, we did a bit of a crash course for Eric. We put his videography skills to the test, and we filmed a concert for his friend Seth, which we're gonna incorporate into the documentary. Eric has had a small Canon camera in the past, but he's never had the equipment to fully realize the business that he wants to run or shoot the films that he desires to make. But I was really impressed watching him take charge of this shoot, coming up with the camera angles and working with his camera operators and his team for this shoot. We spoke about the camera angles, about how to change the ISO as the light went darker. And when I checked his footage back at the end of the day, it was great work. He's gonna be able to put together a really cool video from this concert. Buying a camera is not the challenging part, but knowing how to tell good stories is. So Eric and I sat down and began to talk about his business plan. We spoke about not being crushed by having his huge aspirations to grow his videography business, but learning about the small steps that he can take. How do you conquer your dreams in filmmaking? It's one step, one day at a time. So we came up with some real practical small steps for him in order to start building that videography business. This was sort of a mini masterclass.
I really want you to know that failure, like making mistakes, is okay, but beating yourself up and living in that failure is not okay.
And I hope you like our homegrown Nigerian tripod. It'll probably be on B&H pretty soon. The next day, Eric and I continued the documentary shooting, and this is one of the best ways to learn is in the field, in the moment. We're making a film about one of Eric's good friends, Seth, looking at his philosophy and exploring Seth's perspective on Nigerian culture and art. And I gotta give a huge shout out to Epidemic Sound. When they saw that Zoom call a couple months ago when Eric was awarded the camera, they immediately sent me an email and said, is there anything we can do to help? And truthfully, I wasn't comfortable just shipping that camera. I felt like I had to go there. My team as well kind of looked at me and said, Mark, you gotta be the one. When I mentioned to Epidemic Sound that perhaps they could help me with that trip, without hesitation, they said they would sponsor the full thing. So thank you, Epidemic Sound, for helping make this happen. And you may be familiar with Epidemic Sound with their huge music library. And every day their songs are listened to 2.5 billion times. I can't wrap my head around that. And they're constantly adding to that library. They're teaming up with not just artists, but music composers and producers to create such a diverse catalog for your films. All the music you're hearing in this video is provided by Epidemic Sound. And they also have tens and tens of thousands of sound effects, which I've been using for so many of my films over the years. And just like Art of Documentary, Epidemic Sound wants to amplify the voices of the creators that we engage with. Like Eric, they're actually giving him a subscription to their platform to complement the work that he's continuing to do. Epidemic Sound is giving creators the tools to grow and improve their work and make a living off that work. They're passionate about not just providing music, but providing community, support, and the resources people need to live out their dreams as a creative. Epidemic Sound was actually the first brand to ever reach out to sponsor my channel. They actually support me and my dreams, not only being a filmmaker, but a YouTuber. So if you haven't checked out their incredible music library, I put a link down below and you can check out their over 40,000 songs, and there's even a free trial. Thank you, Epidemic Sound, for making this possible.
Okay, let's see if I can actually fit this here. Seth,
Yeah.
I think you just brought to my attention that I wasn't rolling on my 360 camera.
Yeah, you were not rolling. It was on standby. It's still on standby. You want to see? Check it out. It's still on standby.
Right at the moment too, where it could have been the dust. Oh, you saw that? All the
Yeah,
dust?
man, I saw that.
I got covered in dust.
This was. I mean, the last one was chasing tornadoes, right?
No, there's Chase It From the South and Trails of Dust.
Yeah. Okay. So this. So what's this?
This now is Chase It From the Dust.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for watching the films. I appreciate
And one of the
it.
coolest moments of the trip for me was when we were on set. One of our scholarship recipients for Art of Documentary. Kind of throughout the year, we give scholarships to people in developing countries to join AOD. And Rashidat surprised me on set.
I'm a fan of your YouTube videos. I'm also one of the scholarship recipients of AOD.
Oh wait, you got one of.
Scholarship, yes.
You
last
got the
year.
scholarship?
Yes, I was part of the scholarship recipients last year.
Oh, amazing!
I was so excited. I remember when I got the email, I was just jumping up and down my house.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's amazing.
And this was a humbling experience, getting to hear what's going on in her life and getting an update on her amazing career. Thank you, Rashidat, for coming by. It was a highlight for me on the trip. Nigeria really took me by surprise. There were so many people on this trip that I know I'm gonna get to meet again one day. I can't wait to release more content from this trip on this channel. I'm gonna be releasing the full business plan and storytelling tips that I gave Eric. You'll get to sit in on that little mini masterclass that I gave him. And if you're curious too about how to set up an FX6, I had a couple people comment and they wanted me to make a video about this as well. And maybe you want to know this because we're actually giving away another FX6. We put all the details down below. You can find out about the giveaway. It's gonna be happening in a couple weeks. We're constantly giving these away whenever the doors for the Art of Documentary are opening. So go find those details down below. Oh, and one other highlight for this trip. This is for all of the Nigerians. I grew up and your team was one of my favorites ever since you won the Olympics in '96. JJ Okocha is one of my favorite footballers. So my friend Daniel, who I met on this trip, actually snuck me into the Abuja National Stadium. This is where the Nigerian team has played in the past. And I got to go for a run around that track and be in the presence of where so many amazing Nigerian footballers have been. That was cool. That's a bucket list moment I didn't know I would ever get to do. So thank you, Epidemic Sound. Thank you, Art of Documentary. Thank you to my team for helping make this trip happen. Thank you, Eric and Seth, for inviting me into your life. And thank you for making it this far into the video. You're one of the 10%ers. If you've made it this far, leave, ooh, which emoji? Leave this one. Come on, folks, there it is. The invisible, uncertain emoji. Well, I hate goodbyes, but I love electrolytes. Stay hydrated. See you in the next one.
Happy birthday to you. To you.
Is this the outfit?
Yep.
I know what I got. That's amazing.
Let's try it out.
I gotta try this on. Is this the birthday kit?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I'll get back to backing up. Yeah, no, that fits well.
You like it?
Yeah, I love it. This is awesome. Thank you. This is so
birthday,
good.
man.
Thank you. So I was just gifted for my birthday this Nigerian, what do you call this?
Kaftan.
Kaftan. And what did you say my Nigerian name is?
Chidibim.
Chidibem?
Chidibim.
Chidubem?
Call it Chidibim.